Hey everyone, this is Phi, and I'm going to try out Porro Viatica. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but that's what it looks like to me. I haven't seen anything of this game. Well, I've seen a few images and such, but I haven't seen anything past the screen. It does look like it might be. I don't know if it's going to run well or not. It looks like it's kind of dropping some frames here. I did put it in full screen mode, and unfortunately, I only have Intel HD 3000 graphics right now. Even though this is a 2D game, I don't know if it will run well or not. We're just gonna have to find out. Let's see, music, disable camera rotation, semi-transparent player bullets. Alright, so some interesting options here. It's always nice to have little things of that nature. You can kind of customize your game. It does look like it supports keyboard, mouse, and gamepad. Now I understand. I guess this is kind of an omnidirectional shooter, so it's usually kind of the case where you get trade-offs between each control type. I guess I'm going to try with the mouse. I'm guessing it's keyboard and mouse. Looks like adventure is grayed out. Maybe that just doesn't exist yet. Survival high scores, options, exit. So kind of a bare bones main menu screen here, but that's okay. Wow, that's a lot of difficulty types. Be interesting to see how the difficulty is being scaled, because a lot of games have there's some issues you run into when you try and change the difficulty. Can affect the game in sometimes unwanted ways, but I'm just gonna go ahead and go with normal. We'll see what happens. Alright, so yeah, the frame rate is not looking that great. Ooh, that's looking really bad. I don't know what's happening. I guess he's just exploding. I'm really confused right now, actually. Is that an enemy bullet? It's just, or is that like points, or we're running into me? I guess that's points. Wow, space button just like. Okay, so I guess that locks the camera to where I am now. I'm pressing the S key, and it feels like I'm accelerating or something. I honestly don't know. Does that even do anything? Let's keep moving down, it's moving up. I'm trying to... Okay. Beast mode. Alright, so really confusing off the bat. A couple of things I noticed is that when you press up, you move up. It's not relative to the direction you're facing, which was... I wasn't sure about that. I thought it might be kind of an asteroids sort of deal where you go towards the direction you're facing, but apparently that's not how it works. There's a ton of inertia though, which is something to keep an eye on, I guess. It depends on the gameplay. Obviously, if this is like a bullet hell or something, that could be really problematic, but I don't really know. Until I get into it. In the spacebar, you hold that, and I guess this meter starts dropping, and you start going kind of fast, but it also locks the camera to the direction you're facing, so it's really confusing. This is gear boost mode, so I don't really understand that. It's not even... I just ran out. I don't know, it's so kind of confusing. Because when you're in this mode, you rotate using the mouse, but when you're in the boost mode, you rotate using A and D, and the mouse doesn't appear to do anything more than move the camera around a little. So it's pretty confusing. I don't really understand that fully. Just the kind of the disparity between the controls. And Yeah, I keep feeling like I should go forwards in the direction I'm facing when I press up instead of going absolute up. Just gotta get used to that, I guess. I really like the stars in the background, how they make these little streaks. Really looks nice, actually. You can actually go ahead and try and kill things. The way they explode like that is like really distracting, I think, and it kind of sounds like a machine gun going off. I don't know why they don't just kind of go up in a puff of smoke like most enemies do. Wave 3 complete. Isn't that wave 1 or something? Or I guess that's wave 3. Yeah, that's so distracting. I mean, come on. When they're dead, they should just kind of disappear because otherwise it just kind of makes it more confusing. It's less obvious that what's on the screen is dead because it's still on the screen. And I still feel like I should go I should go in the direction I'm facing. It's really confusing. I mean, I'm sure it's technically better to move this way. I just keep feeling like I should do that. I purchased a spread shot? What? When did I purchase anything? You have upgraded. I don't know, it's it's just confusing. I guess the game just kind of buys upgrades and stuff for you. It's really quite strange. Oh my gosh, there's a ton of lag. So when you rotate towards the reticle, it kind of rotates quickly, but then as it gets close to it, it starts rotating slower. So it just takes like forever to actually reach the point where you're aiming. That doesn't seem like a good thing to me, because typically if you want to shoot something, you put the cursor on it and then it just like takes forever until it actually starts shooting at it. So I would definitely consider tweaking that and make it just kind of rotate to the point that you need it to instead of kind of close to it, because you kind of have to compensate for that, and it's not really a great thing. So yeah, it's a bit confusing so far. I'm guessing this is my health. I haven't really been worrying that much about playing well. I'm just kind of trying to figure everything out at this point. So I guess this is a score multiplier at the top or something. The bullets are super not visible. Those little white bullets on this background, you basically can't see them. So I would definitely change those. I also think the reticle itself is not ideal. I think you could make it a bit more visible. And yeah, just the way that you have to compensate for the slow rotation when you're aiming is kind of crappy. It's pretty annoying. So yeah, I'm just kind of curious what the whole boost mode thing is for. Obviously you go fast and it's cool, I guess. I just don't know what the actual utility of it is. I upgraded health, apparently. Maximum offensive energy. It takes a while to read this read this stuff. I mean, it's good that it's like between waves, but it's not, when you take damage, it's also not very obvious. You could probably stronger damage indicator. The doodads. can't read that because I'm kind of... Alright, spreads damage. I think these things shoot at me, but I can't see the bullets that are coming out of them, the blue things. So I guess just don't get directly in front of them or something. I don't know. Ooh. That's kind of lousy. Yeah, the way that the blue guys can kind of trap you in place by physically blocking them is kind of crap. I can't do that so much. Let's get some of this money stuff here. Okay. Sounds like stuff's dying off screen. Alright, my health is kind of low-ish, but I think I lost a bunch of it before when I was kind of stuck on the blue guys. Also, I think I'm taking random tiny bits of damage from the bullets that I can't really see. Oh, there's a yellow guy. Yeah, I just can't. There's too many little blobs and dots on the screen, it's not really intelligible anymore. Rapid rate of fire, homing, damage. Ah, see, I'm completely stuck. That was lame. That was pretty lame. Okay, so I'm just gonna talk a little bit here. Kind of mentioned most things already while I was playing. It doesn't really feel hard. I mean, I know it's only normal difficulty, but it doesn't really feel hard, even though like I'm kind of dying here and there, which I think is not really an ideal situation, because it kind of feels like I'm taking damage for the wrong reasons, and otherwise it almost feels too easy in a way, because I think for the most part, as long as you're kind of strafing around enemies and stuff, they're not really going to hurt you, at least so far. You know, obviously I didn't I didn't make it super far, I don't think, to like the waves and stuff, so it probably gets a lot harder. But the question is kind of where the difficulty is meant to be, and maybe that's something that the developer can kind of ask himself. If maybe he already has an answer to that question, but you know, typically this kind of thing you end up dodging bullets and stuff, and this doesn't feel like a game where you dodge bullets. I mean, you have tons of inertia and stuff, so you're not really like weaving between bullets and stuff like that, so you really have to kind of nail down exactly where you want the challenge to be in kind of a mechanical sense, and kind of work on honing that, I think. In terms of the general feel of the game, I do like it. I kind of, in fact, I've thought of this kind of thing before. This sort of boost mode I think is really pretty neat, actually. I didn't actually use it at all because I didn't I didn't really see the utility in it, like I mentioned, but I actually I would consider making the boost mode turn based on the actual mouse for consistency, because I don't see any reason why you couldn't turn with the mouse while using boost mode. Just like if you put it to the left, you turn left, and if you put it to the right, you turn to the right, like this sort of thing. Again, I don't really know what it's for exactly at this point, but I do like the feel of it, so that's kind of why I was mentioning it, because I like the idea of this kind of thing a bit. Just kind of the feel of it. And yeah, I think the general concept is good. I think there's just a number of little things that should really be improved upon to get the game feeling good. And I will continue playing it a bit, and I'll try higher difficulties. It does feel like it takes a while to get through the waves. Like if I wanted to get to wave 50 or something, like I'd have to go through a lot of these lower waves that is just kind of tedious when they're rather easy, I guess. And all the words between the waves, I'm not too keen on those. I think you could probably show that a lot more simply. Like just have kind of a graphical representation, like spread shot up or something that just kind of flashes on the screen, that sort of thing. Anything like that, I mean, you could probably make it more clear without having to just sit there and read. But yeah, like I mentioned, just kind of the general visibility and intelligibility of everything is a little quite a bit off, I think, just because the bullets don't come across clearly amidst everything. It's just kind of a mess. So what I'm gonna do is okay, escape doesn't do anything. Enter key does pause. I would move that to escape, just because I think that's what most games do. Oops. What I'm gonna do. Okay, there doesn't appear to be. Okay, exit game returns to the menu. It made me think I was gonna actually close the game, but I'm gonna try survival on very hard. See what happens. See if I die real fast or something. Okay, well I just ate that. Alright, so these guys seem super fast. This is a very interesting choice for difficulty option, because that's, I think, kind of a dangerous sort of thing. It might work, I mean, it might work well, but when you fundamentally change a behavior like that, it can be pretty tricky to start balancing things like that. But it's just yeah, almost dead already. That's just a first impression. I think that's a bullet. That's weird. I think that's one of my bullets, yeah. It's not really distinguishable from the pickups. I'm gonna try that again. So we can be a little more serious about it, I guess. Oh my gosh. And yeah, the fact that you can't really... It's hard to aim where you're pointing at. It's kind of the fundamental function of the game is you have to point to aim, and it doesn't seem to work well to me, so... Yeah, I already took a pile of damage, and there's no really indication when you get hit. I can outrun them, but I can't shoot them while doing that, so... Yeah, I mean, if you can get your bullets in them, you can kind of kill them before they reach you, but... So that seems like the kind of thing you could use the boost for, is if you're just kind of trying to dodge that kind of thing, like when the enemies are coming in around you. That does seem like a use for the boost, but yeah, I'm feeling like the speed of those green enemies and stuff makes it feel like the game is less functional rather than just harder. So I'm gonna go ahead and try hard and see how that feels. It's actually pretty similar to the way that they're going. Come on, aim! This one is kind of confusing. I feel like it should, why is it spin around like that? I'm just playing with that, it feels a little weird. But yeah, I definitely feel like it should go towards the reticle rather than having to steer with the direction keys. Ah, come on, aim! Oh, come on! Aim towards the cursor. is a little disorienting sometimes when the camera just spins around when you try and boost, rather than just moving faster. So I kind of like the idea of the camera locking to your direction like this, but I don't know, it almost seems unnecessary at the same time, rather than just keeping the camera the way it is, just making it go faster. Because it does get pretty disorienting. That didn't work. Yeah, it's super disorienting. Power-ups coming out of these guys look more like bullets than any actual bullets. By the way, what I was saying before about feeling like it should go towards, like when you press W, it should go towards the direction you're facing. I didn't mean to say that you should change that. I just mean to say that that was just kind of the. All right, I got literally stuck on these guys. I think you should probably tweak the collision a little, so you don't actually get stuck. But yeah, I was just talking about. That was just my inclination in the moment that it should be moving forward to the direction you're facing, not that you should actually change that, because it is something you just get used to, and it is obviously better to maneuver using the absolute cardinal directions the way you have it, so that's fine. But I was just mentioning that because that was how I felt in the moment. In any case, yeah, I think I played enough, but yeah, I definitely think the concept is solid. It's just the execution that needs some polishing. And I would definitely be careful with tweaking things for the difficulty modes, because it's really easy to just break things and start tweaking like behaviors and speeds of things and stuff, instead of like, you know, usually the safest sort of thing is just like tweak the health or whatever that you get, and that kind of thing. But even if it seems kind of lame, it's usually a lot safer to do that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I like the game. I think it feels cool, but definitely if you can kind of tweak and polish those sorts of things, I think it'll be a lot more compelling. And it's definitely a good concept that you should keep going with. So hope you found this useful, and I'll see you guys in probably the next video if I make another one. Alright, see ya.